Good afternoon and welcome back to Restaurant Review. It's Saturday, May 1st, May Day, but it's a pleasant day. We're in the end of Jazz Fest here in New Orleans. Also got a big golf tournament going on. But here, we want you to always be here with us on Channel 77 from 3 to 4 to watch our program. As you know, we bring to you every week, or we try to bring to you every week, the greatest new restaurants in our city, their chefs, and always trying to debut a new musical act for you. And today we're able to live up to both of those situations. Sometimes we've got to balance that act. But today we're true to form and we're ready to deliver a great new restaurant and a great new musical guest. Don't forget, you can contact us if you'd like to be in the studio or make any recommendations to us about seeing someone on the show. Either give a call at the phone number at the end or use the website and do some email. Also, don't forget to give us a call during the show and ask any of our guests, especially our chef today, about some of her wonderful dishes or about her restaurant. We'll put those up a little later. But let's go ahead and get the show started, and we want to take our usual stroll back and meet our musician for the day. Follow me. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. We have a little technical difficulty here. But we want to welcome to the show Mr. Dan Rivers.
Thank you.
Great. Now, Dan, I forgot, you're not a native, right?
No, I was born in New York.
And I've been here. The Big Apple, come down to the Big Easy. How long ago?
A couple of years ago.
And what brought you down here?
Oh, the music, I'd say, is the driver.
Excellent. Well, you know, we're famous for here, our food and our music, and that's what we do the show about. So let's see, what else can we... So how long have you been playing music?
I've been playing music for about 30 years.
Wow. Now, he does have a CD out. I know director's going to show. What's the name of the title of it?
The Philadelphia Collection, Dan Rivers.
Philadelphia Collection. Well, of course, we like it better when it's a little farther south, but we won't hold that.
The new one's going to be the New Orleans Collection.
And I know you said you have a website where people can get in touch with you or find out information about
it. Yeah, you can go to cdbaby.com and you can purchase my...
What's that first word?
cdbaby.
cdbaby.com, folks. It's a general website for a lot of musicians, so go ahead.
Look up Dan Rivers there in the search engine and you'll find my CD.
Most importantly, where can people see you personally in the flesh?
In Neutral Ground, May 25th. It's a Tuesday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. That's Phil Melancon's place on Daniel, one of our favorite talents in our city who's so kind enough to give a lot back, and it's May 25th?
That's correct.
Okay, let's take it away. And is your first song going to be from your CD?
Yes, it is. It's on the CD. It's called Whiskey in Heaven.
All righty.
You know, Ireland has done a lot of suffering in the last couple of hundred years, and famines and wars. And this is a song that was inspired by a photograph that I saw of an orphan playing in the streets of Belfast. Again, it's Whiskey in Heaven. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Your mama will sing you that old Irish tune she sang by the bed when your life was but June. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Spent days just walking my wind-dwarfed shrubs, and the nights drinking whiskey in old Irish pubs. I've searched for the answer in old folklore. What's Ireland dying for? There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Your mama will sing you that old Irish tune she sang by the bed when your life was but June. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Well, a child played alone on the cold streets of Belfast. I stood there, I watched him a while. Well, he seemed to be playing some light-hearted game, but I wondered why he never smiled. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Your mama will sing you that old Irish tune she sang by the bed when your life was but June. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? How long will it take to bring peace to my home? How long will it take for a child to stand alone? Child played alone on the cold streets of London. I stood there, I watched her a while. Well, she seemed to be playing some light-hearted game, but I wondered why she never smiled. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Your mama will sing you that old Irish tune she sang by the bed when your life was but June. There's whiskey in heaven, I know, where else would good Irishmen go? Thank you.
Okay, that was Dan Rivers, a great song, Whiskey in Heaven. Well, we're coming down back to earth, and we're ready to introduce you to a great new chef and a great new restaurant today. We're privileged to have the executive chef and owner of the newest restaurant in town that is Pan-Asian, and we'll explain that to you in a second. And the name of it's got a catchy name. You know, we love those catchy names, and it's Zuezeezam. So we'll tell you a little bit more about it when we speak to the chef, how we got that name. But we're pleased to meet Miss Saritat Suwanratanabe. So welcome to the show. And of course, she's so nice enough, she's going by Sue. Right?
Hi. Yes.
Good. Well, tell us, Sue, about your restaurant. First of all, how did you come up with the name? We love it.
Actually, we have the bunch of, and the name in our head before we opened the restaurant, and then we come up with talking about, if we put some other name, what we're going to decide, it have to go all together with the name of the restaurant. And when I talked with the designer, and then they come up with the Zuezeezam, and the logo and everything was so perfect, the color, and I said, I take it. But later on, we just think about it. My name is Susie, and my husband named Sam, and we said, wait a minute, that's Zuezeezam, it could be involved my name and my husband's name. So
what a coincidence. Not only a great sounding, but it also, so Susie or Sam, who's ever there, well, she'll always be there, but Sam will be there as well. So what a great way to name the restaurant. So it is a family name, but it also is just fun to say, and really this is a fun restaurant, folks. Now, when I said Pan-Asian, I wanted to explain that to you because most people only know Chinese. As you know, that's our long-standing Asian style of cuisine. Of course, more and more in the last 20 years, New Orleans has expanded its cuisine to Thai and Japanese, and including a little Vietnamese as well. Susie has brought three of those continents together. The Chinese that we've all loved for so many years in our city, and now, of course, she's also combined it with her national Thai and Japanese food. So we have them all together, folks. So if ever you want to go, and I know sometimes we always want to go to one like a Thai restaurant, but someone else likes another or one of the Asian cultures. Here you can get it all in one place. It's not only that, as I mentioned, it's a fun place. It's located in ELMWOOD Center, which is out in Harahan on Clearview Parkway, or Elmwood Parkway, whatever it's called, 1000, and it's right on the corner, very, very visible, but does great, that logo that you mentioned about. Tell us a little bit more about your restaurant. How long have you been open now?
It's going to be 10 months.
10 months?
Yes, it's going to be 10 months.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. And how many people do y'all seat?
Capacity about like 100.
100?
100 people,
So really wide, as you can see, hopefully you're catching some of those pictures behind us. We always take a few pictures. Really an expansive restaurant. And not only that, it's done in such great color schemes. One wall might be a pale yellow. Another wall will be a great light chartreuse green. We have light lavenders and pink toads with a lot of mirrors, which New Orleans always love. and a whole wall of glass as you run the entire length of the restaurant. So it's great for diners who love to look outside and see people and all the hustle bustle. Plus, you can scale it down in the intimacy in the internal part of the restaurant. But it's really a great, great restaurant. It's open 7 days a week. That's right.
Yes.
And open for lunch and dinner. Now I know you open some days. What days you open starting at 11?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 11 till they close, and then Saturday and Sunday it's
We
noon.
open at noon, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what we're going to do, folks, is now I forget. Do you serve breakfast too?
No. we
No,
don't.
no, good. I didn't think so, but I didn't want to miss something. But we do want to go ahead and tell everyone about your food. So we're glad that you're here in the city, and we're going to start with. And what we tried to do when we went to the restaurant is ask Susie, let's try and pick at least one from each category that would represent each of the three nationalities that she's featuring. So hopefully we've done justice for you. Now let's go ahead and start with the first appetizer, and that, if we can bring that up a little higher, the pic, there it is. That is called mikrab. That is a Thai dish that is very, very standard. Can you tell us a little bit? Now this one is very, very different than a lot of the mikrabs you've eaten and I've eaten in Thai restaurants, if you're familiar. Tell us the basic ingredients, and then we'll talk about the distinctions.
Okay, basically, mikrab it's a Thai food, and then it's just like, we make it different than other places that have it. But in Thailand, okay, it's some certain part they have mikrab, and then they cook the same style that we had it.
It's misspelled again. Okay.
And, we had some certain part in Thailand, and they cooked mikrab like the way that we did it right now. We're doing right now, but mostly when people go to Thai restaurant, they perform in only one kind of mikrab, makes it marinate with the sauce already, and then already.
Well,
have
first
the
of all,
taste.
let's talk about the basic ingredients. The noodles. The noodles to me are even though you can put other ingredients, the noodles are light. What type of rice noodles? Or
It's angel hair noodle.
angel hair noodles.
Just the right angel
And they're
hair.
just like eating air. They're so light and puffy.
Right.
Okay, so then the next thing layer is that you have a choice of. Do you have a choice of shrimp or chicken, or what do you do?
We do only the chicken.
Only the chicken,
with
okay.
Mushroom, but when vegetarian people come in,
Right.
and then, they consider about tofu, or we can do that too.
Okay, and then what's the other ingredients in it?
We make it with the homemade sauce,
Homemade sauce, right.
mushroom. We stir fry with mushroom,
Right.
and some stuff like that, and with regular.
The sauce is a sweet sauce, right?
Yes,
sweet and sour?
more like sweet taste than other,
Right.
flavor. The sweet taste is flavor.
Right.
That's more
And what's really good, if we look at that second picture, is that, and this is very unusual, is I notice that the lettuce is there not strictly for decoration, it's actually a roll-up or a wrap-up. So the real key here, which is different from most, at least any other Thai restaurant I've been, I've seen this in Chinese and roll-ups, but it's really cool in that you can stuff your lettuce with all the ingredients, put the sauce and roll it up and eat it like a roll, whether it's a Thai roll or wrap. So it's fun food, but a great, great appetizer. And of course, a lot of Asian food is great because you can share it with so many people at the table, and they really can get a taste. So this is really a great one. Now, I understand we've already gotten a phone call, so boy, we just started the show. Let's see who that is. Welcome to Restaurant Review. This is Bob. Who's calling, please?
This is Steve.
Steve. Well, Sue's here, and can we answer any questions for you?
What kind of wrap is that around those noodles?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that a little louder?
What kind of wrap is that around those noodles?
Oh, that's
It's a
lettuce.
lettuce.
The lettuce?
Yeah, that is lettuce.
Right. They're using iceberg or romaine
Iceberg.
lettuce, iceberg lettuce. And like I say, I found this in many Chinese restaurants where they'll do like a minced meat or fowl, but this was very unusual in the meat crab. And again, you don't have to do that. If you're a traditionalist, have eaten it the other way, you can just eat it, put the sauce right on it, eat with a fork or your chopsticks or whatever. But the really tastiness here is really putting it in that cold iceberg lettuce. It really adds an additional flavor to it. Anything else, Steve? No? Okay, well, thanks for calling. Well, that was right at the beginning. They're catching us on the first one. We'll never get through here. We love our callers. Please don't hesitate to call. But let's get some more information out to you so you can see some of the ingredients. So we've got a Thai appetizer. Let's move on to the second one. Now, the next one is your spring rolls, right?
Yes.
Now, this can really
we
be
called it fresh roll.
fresh rolls.
Yes. Mhm.
This really can be considered a Thai dish or even a Vietnamese
Vietnamese,
dish,
yeah.
which is very popular and very, very light. For those who don't know that, I mean, they can say, that looks like an egg roll. Well, it's not. Egg rolls, first of all, are fried, and those are a little heavier.
Right.
This, the rice paper, is not fried. It's fresh. That way you can see through it. It's stuffed with shrimp. And the thing about Vietnamese and all of these nationalities, the tremendous use of fresh herbs that they grow in their nationality is really good. Tell us what's normally included in the stuffing of the roll, please.
We roll the fresh, the borscht. So really about very healthy. Okay, this dish very healthy, and then have the fresh, boiled shrimp with fresh vegetable like mint leaf, cilantro.
So we have
cucumber,
cilantro.
yes.
Let's go a little slower. Cilantro,
basil
mint leaf, basil leaf,
and then the carrot and the cucumber.
fresh carrots and cucumbers.
And a slice of the lettuce. We put the lettuce.
And a little lettuce in to give
Yes,
it the crunch. And then you notice we have the dipping sauce is the be all and end all. You can eat them plain, but and that dipping sauce, I know it's got some sauce. Does it have some peanut in it?
Yes, it does.
Peanut
That's
sauce,
the
so-
sauce that adds a lot of flavor, and then it's really good.
So it's got that sweetness, that nuttiness, but it also has, you see, the fresh cilantro again. So if you've ever been to a Vietnamese restaurant, this is the key appetizer. So it is in some of the other Thai restaurants. It's getting more circulation in all the Asian restaurants. So it's really a good one. Now what we want to do now is move on to our third appetizer, and this one is shumai. Now this is considered, and even though it's, again, across many Asian situations, most importantly, it's found in Japanese restaurants. The good thing about this, if we can lift that picture up a little bit, is that these dumplings everything is homemade. The dumpling itself and the ingredients. Tell us what you stuff them with, please.
Chicken and shrimp inside, and then some mushroom, some water chestnuts.
Wow.
Okay, and then
And then you steam them?
Yeah, we have to marinate all the ingredients inside first.
Okay.
And then basically we have to put exactly portion of like sugar or some stuff
Sure,
like that
of course.
to make it. And then the texture of the wonton, the wrapper, it little bit different from Japanese food. Japanese, it has soft, and then sometimes
Right.
when you steam it, it already melts by the time you go bring it to the table for the customer. So this one is more texture, it is tender.
But
and
you
it's
do
just
steam
good.
it?
Yeah, we do the steam.
Do you
it,
ever,
right.
because some people do like shumai also sauteed. Do you ever sauteed if they would like?
We never. No, I never had
Never
customer
tried?
like that, but they
Okay.
ask for fried.
Well, a lot of people eat the gyoza, but they think they can do either way. So
Right.
so this
Yes,
steamed is, of course, the best way. And of course, once again, you've got a dipping sauce that's similar to the other one, right?
It's
a little bit
the
different.
sauce is really, really pretty unique on this our
Okay,
shumai.
let's hear
A lot
about
of customer come in and then ask for that sauce because if you don't have that sauce, they're not gonna order
But
shumai.
it's a sweet
It's
base.
sweet, plum, and then honey.
Plum and honey and stuff.
Yes,
Well, honey's
That's
my
just
favorite.
good,
That's
right.
why I think it's so good.
Some other Thai restaurant they probably use sweet and sour sauce, but
Right.
we used this
Right.
kind.
Okay, so there you go. Just in those three appetizers, we've really covered 4 nationalities, including Vietnamese. So, and again, that's not all the appetizers. She's got a list of at least 3 or 4 more, and she does specialty things every day. And she'll do a specialty appetizer, a specialty entree. So, got a lot of vitality here, a lot of flexibility, folks. That's why she's really doing a lot for the people out there. Now, let's go ahead and move on a little bit. And we want to do now, of course, soups and salads, which of course are great. I'm used to a Thai soup called Tom Yum Goong, which is basically this soup. It's a shrimp soup, but with a different stock, but a real kick to it. It includes lemongrass, which is my favorite, cilantro, maybe some mint leaves. But yours has the addition of what? Coconut milk.
The
huh?
coconut milk.
And tell
yes.
us anything else about it. It's just it's not a heavy sauce. A lot of people say, oh, coconut's too heavy.
That's not really heavy. Okay, a little bit coconut to add flavor. Not when you had tom yum, it's more like spicy.
Right.
Hit the spicy. Okay,
Keep the spice up, right.
But the coconut it reduced the spicy taste and then come out with the sweet instead, and then it not too heavy on the coconut. And we put kalanga, like something like that to lemongrass.
Right.
And so basic of the herbs is the same thing with the tom yum, similar to tom yum, but the taste is a little bit more salty than the tom yum.
It brings it down again.
Right,
But you have Tom Yum Goong as well, so that's
Right,
what's
we
good
did
about
have
it.
a
For
Tom
those
Yum.
who really want the traditional Thai with that real zest, that New
Right,
Orleans heat, then you stick without the coconut. But again, the second one is a great alternative because it cuts back a little bit on that heat level. But both of them excellent dishes, and I've never had this at another restaurant, so I really enjoyed it. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead and try. Let's move to the salads, and we've got a traditional Thai salad called lorb. I don't know does that translate to anything in English?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't either. I haven't found anyone be able to translate it. And this can be done with chicken or beef. Let's see if we can take a look, and why don't you tell us what's in the lorb salad? Really great salad.
This is really good. Actually, when you say salad in Thai
Right.
food, okay, it's different with American.
I
Okay,
understand.
the salad it has
But
the
I've got to
dressing.
equate to my American,
Yeah, and then
American
this,
audience.
all Thai salad, mostly the juice, lime juice and everything. We mix it all together, and then we
Right.
put it over, and then we have to mix it all together with all ingredients like chicken. And the main thing of lab is roasted rice. That make a smell, does make the flavor. We put the rice, the roasted rice, and it just make the
Lotus
smell.
rice?
Yeah, and
I-
it's good.
I tell you, it reminds me of two things, folks. One, it's a great chicken salad for people who love chicken salads, but it also has almost the taste of Bulgar wheat, like if you've ever had an Arab restaurant, that because it's the rice consistency, it has that little grittiness in it that is delicious. So it really is a great, especially now we're coming into the hot summer coming up, a great time to be eating this. And you can see it's a huge portion, so it's an entree salad, or certainly can be split among several others. Now, what we had to do is one of their famous salads called Mama Salad, and this, folks, is definitely my recommendation. A wonderful salad. Let's see if we get that picture up. Now tell us why mine. I know Mama's is not on the menu per se. It's a specialty salad that you put on a lot because so many people love it. But look how pretty that presentation is, and tell us a little bit more about it, please.
It is good, fresh for summer, and then it's everything, the green stuff that have to be like spinach, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and main part of this salad is the dressing. This is the recipe from our, the chef, and then it's really good. The dressing, the peanut, and
Can you
then
tell us a little bit about the
but it's
dressing? Yeah.
not too much heavy. It is cause lighter, and then it's good when you eat with the fresh, the vegetable and everything when you mix it up all together. Those is very, very, the popular right now for the salad. Everybody, when it's weather getting hot and everything like that. So
Really
it's
a
good.
great salad. Great salad. So there you go.
It's really good.
Now we're going to start touching on some of the entrees, and again, as we mentioned, folks, she not only has by category, whether it's Japanese, Thai, Chinese, she also has a lot of specialties. So we've had to cut it down into 4 elements. We really had to pick 4 entrees for you so we could cover all the bases. But again, we're not touching anywhere near the amount of this menu, nor the additional specials she does. But let's go ahead and do the first one. And I believe the first one is your a Chinese dish, and that's honey chicken. Is that right?
Yes, that's a
And
honey
I love honey, so people, if you love honey, the sweetness on here is divine. Go ahead and tell us about your honey chicken.
That one we can't miss it, and then it just the dish that we have to put it on the menu because everybody knows Chinese food, and then everybody come up with you have honey chicken, but our honey chicken is we made the sauce, the homemade sauce, and really, really good. It's sweet. It had the sweet taste, the flavor, but when you it not make like dessert or anything like that. You still have to eat with the rice, okay, and to make the flavor, something like
Right,
that.
so
And
I know
the
you
chicken
serve-
is fried,
Right, which is really good. Of course, they serve traditionally the white rice or the brown rice. My
Right.
favorite is
Yes,
the sign. But it's also got peppers in it. Now, tell us about some of those green peppers and red.
When we cook the sauce first, we steam the sauce and then put the bell pepper and onions.
Right.
Those things gonna come up. When you eat it, you can smell the taste of bell
Right.
pepper and onions, and then that's gonna bring the taste and then flavor come out.
And the chicken
take
is
this out.
lightly fried.
Yeah,
Sauteed
this is a
lightly.
ready fried.
Excellent, folks. So again, this is a Chinese dish done a little differently than you've seen other places, but I know there are variations of this dish in almost every Chinese restaurant in town. So if you want to stick with Chinese, you're just a Chinese aficionado and want good, this is perfect for you. But if you want to be adventurous, it really is a great dish. The honey is a tremendous addition to it. Okay, now here's something that I found unusual. Again, is the Thai barbecue chicken. I've seen other barbecue ribs and stuff with Thai, but not so much the chicken. So let's see if we can get a picture up. And is that it there?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, folks. It looks like ribs, but it's not. The chicken is like, tell us, and with a beautiful portion. Look at that gorgeous portion of rice. But tell us about the chicken first of all, please, Zu.
Oh, this dish is very, very strong recommend too, and right now it's very popular in the restaurant, and we used to put it on a special. The chicken, it had to be marinated with perfect barbecue sauce, and then perfect all the ingredient, and then
Is
we
that
have
homemade
to keep
barbecue
it.
sauce?
It's a homemade, and then we have to keep it for at least overnight.
Okay,
To
so
get
you're
the juice
marinating
and
it in the
everything,
sauce
yes,
overnight? Okay.
To get the sauce and everything stuck in the meat when you know how juicy and
Right,
everything,
right.
and then when customer order, we just come out, bring it and grill it, and then put the gravy on the top. So this is one, and the sauce is a homemade. This is
Right.
fresh.
So you grill it when they come and
Yes.
just put the additional stuff. Now tell us about that gorgeous mound of rice. I mean, that is such a pretty presentation, that scoop. Tell us what's in that rice there, please.
Just the vegetable fried rice, and then we still have, the Thai style. We keep the Thai taste, there's
Right.
more, not the soy sauce.
Right.
We use more like, in Thai,
deal.
mushroom sauce and everything like that. More like, we didn't use the soy sauce in the pot, in fried rice at all.
Right. So there, even though Chinese, most again people think of fried rice only being Chinese. It's
Right.
not. It's in all the Asian nationalities.
Right.
And this was just, but again, it depends on what sauce and what other ingredients you
Right.
put in it. So again, as I always say, on the level of scale, you have Chinese at the heaviest level because their sauces are very heavy. You move into the lighter levels of Thai, Japanese, and Vietnamese being almost interchangeable in their lightness. And that's what's so good and healthy and fresh for you. Don't forget those phone numbers if you want to call in. But let's go ahead and move on. And the next one will be another great dish. Oh, we do have another caller. Okay, great. Okay, caller, welcome to Restaurant Review. Who are you, please?
My name is Renee.
Renee, great. What can we help you with?
Yes, I was wondering, is there any possible ways, because do you have any?
I'm sorry? Okay, sorry about that. Well, there's always got to have someone, But anyway, we'll move on for our real listeners and audience instead of the crank callers. Anyway, we were talking about, this is a great dish called drunken noodles. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Look at this dish, folks. Now, I said, why in the heck do we call it drunken noodles? But let's go ahead and explain that.
Okay. This is noodle. It already had the hints of the spicy. Okay, when customer come in and if they like some noodle and they want spicy, so we always recommend the drunken noodle is already had the hints of the spicy in there.
Right.
And smell a strong smell of the basil leaf that we stir fry.
Right.
Yeah, and then with the flat noodle, and then
what noodles?
very
It's hard to distinguish because the picture doesn't do it justice, but it's the
it's
wide,
a big
flat noodle.
The rice noodles.
Exactly.
And then we saute with some vegetable like tomato, bamboo, bell pepper, and then something like that. And then we put the basil.
Don't you put even broccoli in it? Broccoli in it now?
Actually,
on top? No.
Normally we don't do the broccoli on the top.
Okay, all right.
It's just when we do the decorate.
But you have fresh tomato and
fresh tomato, bamboo, carrot, thing like that. That can't miss it. So we keep this dish because this is real Thai taste. This one,
right.
It's a small one.
Right, really beautiful. And of course, it is that magnificent lotus bloom made of an onion. Now, of course, I wouldn't recommend that to be edible. I don't think huh? I know people can eat a raw onion,
Right,
I certainly wouldn't suggest that to be a normal.
It takes so long to do that.
Yeah, and plus the rest of your guests might not go home with you, So I would suggest that you certainly leave that. But aesthetically, you can see once again the amount of detail that Susie is attending to here in these presentations. Because the presentation in the Asian market is just as important as the quality of the content and the taste of the food. Okay, now I think now we want to move into Japanese. Now, as Japanese, she has actually, and this is going to be surprising, she has a sushi bar as well as traditional Japanese dishes. We just picked a couple for the day because we looked at some of the unusual rolls. For people who know sushi, they either know it or they don't, and they know their favorite rolls. So what we do when we have a Japanese restaurant on is always try and gear toward the signature roll or the different rolls that they do. And the next two are basically the same in the presentation. It's the ingredient. And I think the first one is called the Red Dragon Roll, and the second one is the Dragon. Look how cute this is, folks. Tell us about the Red Dragon Roll.
We use fresh tuna.
Fresh tuna,
and
right.
then we roll it. Like inside, we have to put fresh tuna with cucumber.
Right.
And then once we roll
rice and
we cut the piece
traditional
of
rice
the tuna and then wrap it. It's just the very artist, how to do that, and then it had to be. It takes time, but it's really good, to be fancy and then to show out, the way that we perform it or something.
And
like
what's
that.
really good about these eyes, folks, those aren't olives. They look black, but they're actually blueberries.
It's a blueberry, yes.
They're delicious with it, so it's a really good combination. Now let's go ahead and look at the other dragon roll. Like I said, they're very similar. Obviously, the concept is the same. It's just a different ingredient. But let's go ahead and take a look again. Once again, look how friendly that dragon is. Now there, of course, you got to see the avocado. Tell us what this dish is, please.
This is another word is the eel roll.
An eel roll,
right? But we
right.
add some avocado and then we add asparagus inside.
Right.
Okay.
For people, excuse me for interrupting, but for people who don't know sushi that well, and right away they hear the word eel, they petrify. We want to explain them. First of all, eel is already cooked before it comes to a restaurant of any Japanese. It's barbecued and then it's re-grilled here, so it's really cooked twice.
Right.
So if anything, people say, I got everything Japanese is who wants to eat raw eel? It's not raw. Great crunchy, a great barbecue taste. And what's really good about this is the mixture of this with the wonderful sweetness of butter of avocado.
Right.
And then the sauce, and of course then decorating it like a dragon. It's just really cool. Now we'll talk about a few other rolls we don't have pictures of before we go into, because we do want to let our musician do his second song. But there's a couple of others I'd like you to talk about. So for people who are not familiar with it, and that is, you have a whole bunch of rolls named after other cities. And I know people are familiar with Tokyo roll and some others, but let's talk about like you do a New York roll. What is a New York roll?
Our New York roll is basically salmon. You know, we put the salmon with the cucumber and with the the fish egg, the little fish roll on the outside, and then put some a little bit of olive oil, and then the homemade spicy sauce. In Japanese style, not the spicy like Thai taste, but the Japanese, is much more. When they say spicy, Japanese not really kill you, but it just have the hint. Yeah.
Now, of course, we got to ask you before. Well, let's talk about some of the other cities first, but I don't want to forget your signature roll. But I know you've got what's this? Alaska roll.
Alaska.
It's got to have some crab or some king.
Yeah, this is a perfect roll because when people come in and they want to get the crab roll, they want the salmon roll. And then they want avocado and cucumber. So it's everything basically inside Alaska roll. We put crab meat, we put salmon, we put cucumber, we put avocado, and then we roll it with the fish egg on the outside.
Okay, and then you got a Washington and a Seattle roll.
Yeah.
Quickly, what's the difference between those two?
It's those things. It depends on what inside that we put. Like Washington, in fresh tuna with some scallion with cucumber, and in Seattle we put like salmon, some stuff like that, the cucumber. So basically, whatever inside, and they just keep the name in the different. Okay.
All right. Now you also have a spider roll. Now I've seen that in several places, but tell us how your spider roll is. We've already gone through your dragon roll. What is a spider roll include?
It's soft shell crab. Basically, that's a soft shell crab,
That's
and when the way we roll it, it's same thing like the dragon. And we want to present it. Like the dragon have the leg. But this
the
is
crab
really
is the spider.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it had the leg short and it's really, really come out like the spider.
Now how about, we got to talk about the Zuezeezam roll, the signature roll. What is that, please?
There's the crab, and then there's some olive oil, and then cucumber. It's so good. And then
wait, I'm sorry, crab. Now we're talking about crab stick?
Yeah, the crab stick. And then, we mix it, we marinate it with some Japanese mayonnaise. Okay, and we put the spicy sauce, the homemade spicy sauce, and we put the olive oil, and we mix it all together, and then we roll it up with the cucumber, and then put the fish egg on the outside.
Wow.
So that's really good. And press the chili on the top again, like the Japanese chili on the top. So that's a really good roll.
Excellent.
That's very popular.
Well, folks, I'm looking. She has 27 different rolls for you to try. So, again, she's got some. Those are some of the high. I mean, she has all the standard stuff that we always get. But I'm always looking for the new stuff because I eat it so much. So again, if you're adventurous as I am, these are some of the places you want to gravitate to try some of the differences. And it's just a personal preference, but the more you can try it, to me, the better it is. Now she has, again, if you're not eating just sushi rolls, she has regular sushi dinners, combos. Is that correct? You have samples.
Yes.
So that way you can. Because some people don't want all that. They only like a certain type of sushi, and of course they only want 1 or 2 rolls of that, but they want it in combination with some other dishes. So just like in Japanese restaurants, you don't have to have just a sushi meal, and you can have a combination of stuff or a full Japanese dinner. So there's a lot of variety there to work within your budget. And as we mentioned, that even though we're going quickly through a lot of the dishes here, every day they come up with some specialties, not only appetizer but also entrees. So when you come into the restaurant, don't hesitate to look at the chalkboard. In many restaurants today, that's where the specialty. And in fact, of course, if you've been to the restaurant many times, that's what you gravitate to, so you can really try something new. But regardless, they're here to serve you. Remember, we're here today talking to Susie and about Zuezeezam, which is a 7-day-a-week restaurant, open from lunch all the way through dinner. It's in the ELMWOOD Center at 1000 Harrison. There to serve you great looking place, as you can see from the back. Great color combination, wonderful staff, and it's just really cool because it's a whole wall of glass, beautiful expanses, mirrors, beautiful soft pastel colors, and everything is super well coordinated from the logo to the look to the actual food. So we want you to give them a try at your earliest convenience. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and go through some beverages that are unique to the restaurant, or unique to the Asian culture, let's put it this way, and also some fabulous desserts. But meanwhile, we want to go ahead and let you hear again from our great musician. His name is Dan Rivers, as we're talking about his CD. He's got a CD out you seen before about Philadelphia. There you go, his collection. But he's working on his New Orleans collection, and we're anxious for that to come out. But meanwhile, let's, Dan, what are you going to do for your second song, please?
This one's called You Were 16 Again. And it's a little song. One day I always had a favorite car, and my favorite car is a 1967 Chevy. And I was out there one day, rolled it out of the garage, and I shined it up a little bit, and got to thinking about an old girlfriend in the old neighborhood. So I got in the car, drove by the old neighborhood, and it's called You Were 16 Again, drove by our old house. Had a cherry red Chevy with black bucket seats. The year was 67, the story's bittersweet. Shined up the memories and polished the chrome. Drove to the old house that once was your home. You were a vision in my cherry red car, and I'll remember you the way you are. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. Drove by St. Mary's, the school where we met. Out by the projects that weren't there yet. Down by the drive-in where it used to be, the one where you gave your love to me. You were a vision in my cherry red car, and I remember you the way you are. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. Drove down the highway in our radio days, and life was easy in so many ways. Looked in a rear mirror, it shattered my view, ended my timeless vision of you. You were a vision with the wind in your hair, and I remember you the way you were. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. I remember you the way you were. You were a vision with that wind in your hair. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. I had a cherry red Chevy with black bucket seats. You were 67, the story bittersweet. Shined up the memories and polished the chrome. Drove to the old house that once was your home. You were a vision in my cherry red car, and I remember you the way you are. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. Drove by St. Mary's, the school where we met. Out by the projects that weren't there yet. Out to the drive-in where it used to be, the one where you gave your love to me. You were a vision in my cherry red car, and I remember you the way you are. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. Drove down the highway in our radio days, when life was easy in so many ways. Looked in a rear mirror, it shattered my view. It ended my timeless vision of you. Were a vision with the wind in your hair, You smiled at me the way you did back then. You were 16 again. You were a vision in my cherry red car, and I remember you the way you are. You were 16 again. You were 16 again. Thank you.
The Philadelphia collection, but remember he's working on his New Orleans collection. Okay, and he'll be back with us to close out the show. But meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and go back to our featured restaurant, Zuezeezam, which is a Pan-Asian restaurant on 1000, what's that, Clearview Parkway? I don't know what it's called, but it's the ELMWOOD Center. I know you all know where we're talking about, a big, big center, and they're right out there on the corner with that great, great sign, so real visible for you to think. 7 days a week, open from lunch through dinner, and we're pleased to have the executive chef and owner, METAIRIE Zuezeezam. And we, of course, we affectionately call her Sue or Susie, and she's done a bang-up job. So what we want to do now, Sue, is go ahead and move forward to the rest of the menu. We want to do some unusual beverages and also some desserts for the folks. First thing we want to do, folks, is some non-alcoholic beverages that are really unique to either Vietnamese and some of the other Asian restaurants do it, but at the same time, it's just gaining in popularity here locally, unless you really are Vietnamese oriented, and that's what we call a bubble tea. Now, the first picture we're going to see is actually a plum. It comes in about 5 different flavors. And why don't you tell us what a bubble tea is, please, Sue?
Basically, bubble tea is tea flavor, okay, but they come in the different flavor. Yeah, different tastes. Like they have coconut, plum, honeydew, mango, and green tea. So we do it, the way we make it, we have to blend it with the milk and ice. And the main point we gonna ask like tapioca with the tea or without the tapioca.
Right.
So
that's, folks, for those who are, if you see those black, those aren't chocolate chips, and it looks like it from the picture. I apologize. Those are what we call, and hence the name, tapioca bubbles.
Yeah.
Now, tapioca bubbles, I'm telling you, this is one of the best drinks for children. I mean, I drink them all the time, but at the same time, because kids are fascinated by the concept. Because the tapioca, once you bite into the bubble, I mean, it's just a little taste, and that's it. But it is so good. It's so fascinating because you have these great straws at the place. We don't do it justice to seeing these big, big straws that allow the individual tapioca bubbles to come on through. So it's a fascinating treat. Just a little bit more flavor enhancement. As she mentioned, you can have it with or without. But guaranteed to really enthuse your children because it's just a fascinating venture. Now, besides the bubble teas, they also do the fresh fruit freezes, which is, and I think we've got a strawberry one here. You can tell us a little bit about that, Pretty.
Yeah, that one is a strawberry, but the fruit freeze that we make at our restaurant, we use all the fruit that really fresh in the market and on the season only. We don't use the canned, or we have to pick sometimes like banana. And then a lot of customers come in and they ask for some kind of fruit, but we don't have it because we don't carry the fruit can or anything like that. So we use it from the fresh, like strawberry, sometimes kiwi, whatever this come in the season right now in that time. So we blend it and then with the
now
ice.
Now again, the main difference here is there's no milk.
No milk.
Right.
This one is all the fruit
flavor. So people who don't
flavor.
like the milk, so that's why the other one's almost like a smoothie.
Right.
But this is definitely a freeze or a shake because there's no milk at all. So it's strictly the fruit flavor and the ice, right?
Right. And then with the syrup, so somehow it make the taste like.
But this is going, and of course they decorated with a great plump fresh strawberry. Couldn't get anything better. So refreshing. Now, again, not all of them teetotalers are interested in those fascinating fantasy type drinks. So we want them to go, of course, they have the traditional line of non-alcoholic beverages, but being in an Asian restaurant, she also is offering to you a lot of the alcohols that are from those countries. Like I know she carries from beers, you carry a Thai and Japanese beers, full level of those, for those who are familiar with that. And I know you also carry wines from some of the Asian countries as well?
No, actually we only have the American wine.
Of course they do have the plum wine, I think, and sake.
Yes, we do have the
and Japanese
wine.
Sake, of course, which you got to have if you're going to be serving Japanese food. So great sake, but she has both American and domestic wines. Not only that, and the beers, she's got a full bar as you first come in. I don't think any of our pictures captured it, but it's a great looking bar, and they can mix any drink for you as possible. So this is great for those who would like to have, a little bit stronger refreshment with their meal. So don't hesitate. So you don't have to worry about the wines, everything you could want. Whether you want to go directly stay with the ethnic cuisine in your beverage, or whether you want to do something that's more familiar with you in your food. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get to everyone's favorite sweet tooth, and that's the desserts. Now I know she has about 5 desserts on the menu, but we've picked 3. And coconut is always one of my favorites for desserts, and she's just got a knockout. It's a coconut mousse. Let's see if we can see that. Can you see how pretty that is? I mean, it almost looks like jellyfish. Somebody says, that looks like a Japanese. I said, no. Tell us, and what's really unique about it is that it's a warm coconut dish with the fresh cream as opposed to served cold. Tell us specifically a little bit more about that mousse.
This dessert is supposed to be hot. When we serve it hot and then warm, and then it's right away after we cook it. You have to serve the customer right away. You have to eat it hot. It's rice pudding, and then dressed up with the creamy coconut sauce on the top, and then it's already have the sweet taste, and we present with the whipped cream, and then when you mix it all together with we have to dress with the sweet coconut dressing on the top too. So that's the taste come out with that. So
the puffs are not. I thought that was like a whipped cream.
Yeah, no, we put the whipped cream, but actually we have the coconut cream sauce and then dress it on.
Is in the I'm lost. That's in the whipped cream, or are you saying that's a separate thing?
It's a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
But we have rice pudding, and then on the top is a creamy coconut. Okay. And we still have the dressing. We have the dress with creamy
on those
sauce.
here, is there coconut sauce dressing on top of it? Okay, all right. It's not visible, but it's just blended into it.
Right, because it's just like liquid, and then we.
But I'm telling you, folks, for coconut fans like myself, you're so used to eating coconut, but in a cold manner, this is so good. Now, the whipped cream, it's not freezing cold. It's a little chill, but what a great contrast.
Right.
Super delicate. I mean, and plus beautiful. The shapes of it, like I say, look in the shape of a jellyfish or something, just beautiful presentation. And for a true coconut lover, this is great. Okay, now the next one is taking a standard old cheesecake that we all love, and again, adding that fresh fruit to it. And tell us what we do on the next one. It's a mango cheesecake. Is that right?
Yes.
Look how pretty that is, folks. Tell us a little bit about the mango.
I guess everybody likes cheesecakes, so we have to keep those in the menu of the dessert when people come in, But the different thing, we put the mango sauce. That's the basically that make it a little bit different from other cheesecake. That the mango sauce is we do the fresh mango, and then make it with the melt. The way we make it, have to melt it in the pot and then hot it. But we serve it cold in this one. We put the mango sauce in the cold. But this one is supposed to be cold. So
but the cheesecake is a New York. It's not a sweet cheesecake already. It's a New York style, which is more cheap.
Exactly.
And that's what's good about it, because I think if you would have tried to use one of the ones with the whipped cream or something, it would have been too sweet. So the mango adds just enough sweetness to it.
Right.
Excellent. All right. Now, we saved the best for last. As we said, this is not the only ones, but we really saved the best for last. This is the signature dessert. It's called the Zuezeezam fresh fruit. I call it spectacular. I know she calls it something else. And hopefully we can do justice with this picture. First of all, one of the most magnificent presentations. It's in an eclectic S-shaped martini glass. And go ahead and you tell us about what's underneath that big bed of white cream.
Oh, this thing is very, very fancy, and it's very, very good too. We use all the fresh fruit, all berry, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry,
we line
kiwi berry, whatever. Yeah, and then we mix it all together. And the place we put the chambord.
Okay.
All
right. So you're talking about the inside first. So first of all, we talk about you have raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. I think I saw some cherries or grapes in there.
No, we don't put the cherries.
No cherries or grapes.
No.
I thought I had tasted.
We have grape. Yeah, we
grapes.
put the grape. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So
sometimes
all the fruit that's the fresh in the season, so we put it.
So you mix those together and you put them with chambord, which is a wonderful cherry alcohol.
And then put the whipped cream on the top, and once when the whipped cream melts in the chambord, and then suck all the in the fruit flavor, it's so good in that thing. Yeah, this is.
And then of course, in order for it not just to fall apart, They line the martini glass with beautiful oval slices of kiwi, which is just a phenomenal fruit for those who have tried it. So as you can see, folks, this is a magnet. And then we forgot one thing. You barely can see it in this photograph. I don't know if we have another photograph of this or not. But coming up at the top right is a projection, is a pirouette. Pirouette is some of the flakiest tubular pastry. There you go. Oh, look how pretty that. And I mean, it is just a final touch because it's not, a pirouette is not sweet, it's just super delicate. And you couldn't get anything better to mix with all. Anything else would have really been too heavy for it or really changed the whole taste of it. This is truly a top-notch dessert, folks. I mean, and again, I know people say, well, the cream, it's fattening. Yes, it is fattening, but at the same time, it's extremely healthy with the fresh fruit. I'm sure if you ask them to leave the cream off, it's not going to taste as good, but at the same time, I'm sure they do for you if you just wanted the fresh fruit. It's not going to make half a good presentation or taste, but just truly magnificent. Okay, folks, we've been pleased today to talk to Executive Chef Siritat Suwanratanabas, or as we know her, Sue or Susie, and her restaurant is named Zuezeezam, Susie and her husband Sam. It's a great new addition to the ELMWOOD Center, right there on 1000 Harrison, very visible on the corner of this huge shopping center. A magnificent looking building with complete glass walls, so easy to see. Open 7 days a week for you, for your convenience, from lunch through dinner. Very, very affordable restaurant, super quality, and we're really pleased to have it here. Now, we want to tell you about some upcoming little program changes, information for you for the future. We've got some great musical guests. I believe, next Saturday, I'm not sure if we've got a restaurant booked for next Saturday, but I know Mother's Day we've got a great new restaurant called La Petite Grocery. This is, you say, well, grocery, my goodness. This is a great new restaurant up on Napoleon. It's only been opened, I would say, 2 months at the most. Chef Anton Schulte, who's very famous around our parts, has finally opened his own restaurant. He's worked with others, done a great, great job. A magnificent fine dining restaurant that we're super pleased to bring to you. We've got some others lined up for the future. We've got a musical guest coming out to know. We've really been blessed that we've been, I think we have 7 or 8 musical guests lined up. So we'll be with you in musical guests. We just got to get some more of those restaurants lined up for you famous. We want to tell you that we're here every Saturday, 3 to 4. Don't forget our repeats on Wednesday, twice, early in the morning, late in the afternoon, about 3:30 to 4:30, and then late Friday nights, about 3 a.m., that most of our hospitality people see. If you have any interest in being on the show, getting us information about the show, don't forget to watch for the website and the phone numbers at the end in the credits. We are pleased that we've had a great musical guest on, and we're going to let him take us out. I want to make sure we've covered everything for you. I do want to tell you also that we're hoping you have a great Jazz Fest and enjoying the rest of, or the beginning of May here here in New Orleans. We'll be back with you next week, and we want to go ahead now and see if we can get our friend Dan Rivers to do his final song. Don't forget, his CD's called Philadelphia Collection. There you go, see it on there. You can reach him at cdbaby.com, find out about his CDs as well as other information on other CD artists and musical artists. And don't forget, you can see him May 25th at the Neutral Ground, our friend on Danilo, Phil Melancon's place. So once again, we thank you for coming to see us. We'll see you next week. And Dan, please tell us what you're going to close us out with, please.
Yeah, this is going to be called Delta Queen. This will be on the new CD, be out in the end of the summer, and that one will be called the New Orleans Collection. And this is a little song about the Mississippi River. And it hasn't changed much in the last 100 years. And the little steamships still pull out of New Orleans, and they take jazz up the heartland. And the other thing they took up the river was some gambling, and specifically some poker. And it's a story of a riverboat gambler who went up the Mississippi River and always very confident. And this one time, he didn't keep his guard up, and he got taken by a little gal from New Orleans. hustlers and dealers, preachers and healers, rode the old Delta Queen. Grifters and stealers and well-keeping wheelers, good-looking women from New Orleans. I was a riverboat gambler, I rode the old Delta Queen. No limit poker, nothing was wild, we steamed out of New Orleans. She was tall and winsome, with a voice as soft as rain. You don't mind if I sit in some? Pakistan Sam said, "Your deal, ma'am." Then she said, "Deuces and jacks, the king with the axe, wild on the old Delta Queen. Aces and 8-speed flushes and straights, to you boys no follow the queen." Well, I was the king of the river, there's nobody better at cards. There's no hand I couldn't deliver, till the day that I dropped my guard. When she said, "Deuces and jacks, the king with the axe, wild on the old Delta Queen. Aces and 8-speed flushes and straights, to you boys no follow the queen." I lost my shirt on the river, I think it was double dog dare. When she said the words that still make me shiver, "Leave the rest of your clothes on the chair." Now if you ride the river, I'll give you some advice. Don't play cards with good-looking women, and don't make me tell you twice, 'cause they'll play deuces and jacks, the king with the axe, wild on the old Delta Queen. Aces and 8-speed flushes and straights, to you boys no follow the queen. I lost my shirt on the river, I think it was double dog dare. When she said the words that still make me shiver, "Leave the rest of your clothes on the chair." Now if you ride the river, I'll give you some advice. Don't play cards with good-looking women, and don't make me tell you twice, 'cause they'll play deuces and jacks, and the king with the axe, wild on the old Delta Queen. Aces and 8-speed flushes and straights, to you boys no follow the queen. Hustlers and dealers, preachers and healers, rode the old Delta Queen. Grifters and stealers and well-keeping whalers, and good-looking women from New Orleans. I was a riverboat gambler, I rode the old Delta Queen. No limit poker, nothing was wild,